Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Hi, all you thought criminals. Welcome back. And those of you that are new, welcome. This site I don't go to much, but it had a good article. AmericanMilitaryNews.com. Trump sues Biden administration over FBI raid. Yeah. On Monday, former President Donald Trump filed a lawsuit against the Biden administration seeking a review and inventory of every item removed from his house during the FBI's unprecedented raid on Mar-a-Lago earlier this month. Trump also asked the judge to block investigators from examining the materials. A little bit of business. I've been getting some notices, some subscribers. They've been getting unsubscribed, and people that have been pushing the like button, whether it be for like a comment or like the video in whole, in total, are getting the likes taken down. So check your subscription status, and if you gave me a thumbs up, make sure it's still on there. And those of you that are listening that aren't subscribers, if you think that my content is worth your time, please feel free to subscribe. It'd really help out the channel. Let's read on. Trump lawyers Lindsay Halligan, Trustee, and Corrigan filed a lawsuit which accuses the federal government of refusing to provide President Trump with any reason for an unpresidential general search of his home. To date, the government has failed to legitimize his historic decision to raid the house of a president who had been fully cooperative. Reads the lawsuit entitled Trump v. United States Government. I like that. I like the way that looks. Good for you, President Trump. Now, basically the whole premise is that even though they were there in June of this year, there was some things in there that he shouldn't have had, and they were classified and put the republic in jeopardy, and bam, 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 bam. It's kind of like the adults in Charlie Brown. Wah, 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 wah. This public statement is deeply troubling given that President Trump is the clear frontrunner in the 2024 Republican presidential primary and 24 general election. The statement clearly suggests a decision to raid Mar-a-Lago a mere 90 days before the 22 midterm elections involve political calculations aimed at diminishing the leading voice in the Republican Party. Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, personally approved the decision for the search warrant to raid his home. The lawsuit seeks the appointment of a special master to review the materials seized during the raid. Interesting enough, though. Interesting enough. Think about the last just 5 years only. How many leaks have come out of the FBI pertaining to things that would either hurt Republicans or mostly Trump? What? Dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens. Leak like a sieve. Here it is, 2 odd weeks later after the raid on Trump's house. Where are the leaks? Where are they? Yeah. Crickets. If there was something so earth-shattering, then why hasn't it leaked? They do with everything else. They do with things that aren't true. They want a third party to look at everything. According to the government, the agencies that documents privileged and or potentially privileged materials and other items, including photos, handwritten notes, and even President Trump's passports. They were outside to also a search of any and already overbroad warrant. Now, he said it was specific. AG stood there, Garland, and said, this is specific in scope what we're looking for. Yet in B of the affidavit, it says everything from January 20th, 2017 to January 20th, 2021, the entirety of his presidential term. That sound like it's focused to you? So the whole premise of this is they weren't declassified. Trump doesn't have the authority to declassify them and blah, 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 blah. Well, let's check to see if that's true or not. And of all places, PolitiFact. I can't stand them, but when they're right, they're right. The question is, the minute the president speaks about it to someone, he has the ability to declassify anything at any time without any process. And they say, that's not true. There's a process to go through. And PolitiFact says, mostly true. Does the president have the ability to declassify anything at any time? The blockbuster article in the Washington Post saying President Trump had revealed highly classified information of the Russian foreign minister and ambassador in the White House, meaning just put the White House on the defensive and also put Republican lawmakers in a tight spot. Blah, 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 blah. One of the members of Congress who commented after newspapers' revelations, the minute the president speaks to someone, he has the ability to classify anything at any time without any process. Is this accurate? Independent expert says Rich is on target concerning the legal powers of the president. Some experts added, however, that the senator's formulation left out some context that is relevant for assessing Trump's alleged actions. Experts agree that the president's commander-in-chief is ultimately responsible for classification and declassification when people lower the chain of command handle classification, declassification duties, which is usually how it's done. It's because they haven't been delegated to do so by the president directly or by the appointee chosen by the president. The majority ruling in 1988 Supreme Court case, Department of Navy versus Egan, which addressed the legal recourse of a Navy employee who had been denied a security clearance, addresses the line of authority. I'll read it slow for all you Trump derangement syndrome people. The president, after all, is the commander-in-chief of the Army and Navy of the United States. According to Article 2 of the Constitution, the court's majority wrote, his authority to classify and control access to information bearing on national security flows primarily from his constitutional investment of power in the president and exists quite apart from any explicit congressional grant. In other words, other federal employees have to go through a process. The president doesn't. So that process they say that Trump didn't follow, there isn't one. Stephen Aftergood, director of the Federation of American Scientists Project on Government Secrecy, said that such authority gives the president the authority to classify and declassify at will. In fact, Robert Turner, associate director of the University of Virginia Center for National Law Security, said that if Congress were to enact a statute seeking to limit the president's authority to classify or declassify national security information, or prohibit him from sharing certain kinds of information with Russia, it would raise serious separation of powers constitutional issues. Or you try to negotiate with a foreign leader, in this case a Russian leader, and it said, well, we'll withdraw our troops from XYZ location. Well, he can say we have troops in that location and how many we're going to withdraw. Even though technically that's classified information, you can't negotiate with anybody in a foreign power, especially unless you are there in good faith to negotiate. By telling them we're going to withdraw troops from there, or we're going to bring troops there, or whatever the deal is. Obligated to follow any procedures other than those he himself has prescribed. And he can change those. And there you go. The controlling executive order has been written by multiple presidents. The current version of the order was issued by President Barack Obama in 2009. Two caveats. Comments hold water when it comes to the extent of the president's power. Some experts say that Reich's formulation leaves out some notable aspects of the case involving Trump. But Trump has the power to declassify information. He doesn't appear to have done that in this case, at least at the time this story broke. It doesn't need to appear. He took those documents, whatever they were, personal and otherwise, out of the White House. Once he does, they become declassified. Period. There's no question the president brought authority to classify almost anything at any time without any process. That's not what happened here. That's a lie. By him taking them out of the White House and storing them in Mar-a-Lago, he declassified them. Period. End of story. So how many more times are they going to do with this nonsense? No leaks from the FBI on the earth-shattering Trump gave Russia and China the nuclear codes. I love that one. That's a beauty. Because they change the nuclear codes all the time, even during the same person's presidency. This isn't like the password on your computer you're going to have for 10 years, you morons. Well, what's he going to give to a foreign power? Some even suggested he's going to sell it to them later. Or he has blackmail on some of his political enemies. The only blackmail that he has is karma is a bitch. That he has documentation showing how they lied on affidavits. They lied to judges. They lied to get subpoenas in the FISA court and many other places. And multiple people have lied under oath to Congress. Maybe he has the proof for that. Just like Watergate. And I'm old enough to remember Watergate. It was really horrible what happened at the end. The president had to resign. But the fact of the matter was they got caught because of the cover-up. Not the burglary in the Watergate Hotel. The cover-up always gets you caught. And maybe they're trying to cover their own asses. It certainly looks like it. But there's been 0 leaks. Don't you find that interesting? Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.